So welcome everyone. I'm Gloria with Healing You, and today I have a special treat for you. I reached out to a longtime colleague and friend, Jackie Hibbard, and invited her to come in for an interview because I just love her work that she offers in the world. So Jackie is the owner of Dancing Spirit Equine Facilitated Learning and Coaching. And in her practice, she offers personal and spiritual growth opportunities in partnership with her horses for people wanting to deepen their self-awareness and expand into their most authentic self and state of being. A little background on Jackie is she is an ordained minister in the United Church of Christ and holds an undergraduate degree in education and a Master of Divinity degree in theology. She has had careers in volunteer management, education, both community, college, and graduate level, and chaplaincy and hospice leadership. Jackie is a 2016 graduate, also an advanced facilitator and an EFLC Level 1 provider and program assistant with Cathys Program and the Academy for Coaching with Horses. In addition, Jackie is the pastoral associate at Community UCC in Boulder and is on the team that offers contemplative ties. I'm not sure how you say that, Jackie.
Tizay
services, which I have gotten to go participate in, and it's so lovely. She lives on a small farm with spectacular views in the foothills of Lyons, Colorado, with her wife, her dogs, chickens, cat, and 3 beautiful horses. And I actually met Jackie because we went on that path and that journey together through the becoming a graduate and advanced facilitator and the EFL Level 1 provider and program assistant with Cathys. And Jackie has stayed at the helm and is the lead coach for Cathys' business. Isn't that true?
Yeah, I'm her, definitely her program assistant. Yep. So I help her with all of her programs when she needs an assistant. Yep. It's super fun.
Yeah, it's a perfect match. It really is. So Jackie, if we could back up a little bit, could you tell us, our viewers here, how did you get interested in horses?
Well, I loved horses as a girl, but we weren't able to have one. But I always admired them when neighbors would riding down the road or going to the county fair. I'd always be enthralled with the horses that were there and loved to go to the horse shows, but I never really got a chance to do anything with them. And then in 2005, I had the opportunity to participate in clinical pastoral education, which is basically chaplaincy training for ministers. And that program included equine facilitated learning as part of our curriculum. And
cool.
In that, I fell in love with horses again in my 40s and really felt their power, and they helped me with my own personal power and owning that, and really quite honestly changed my life in the direction of my path. And from the very first moment of a round pen session when I was having an experience, I knew that I was going to be working with horses in some way, shape, or form in my life, but I wasn't sure what that looked like. Yeah. But that's really how I got the bug.
That's how you got the bug. Well, I love hearing that and hearing how it really did direct your path and you really followed your heart. Can you share with us a little bit about your style of EFLC, what that looks like or how you hold that container?
So in Cathys' program, we learned all of these wonderful tools on life coaching and how to help people and ask questions and hold people as whole and resourceful beings. And so I take that learning along with all of the wonderful tools I've learned in my life from my education background and my pastoral care training at both seminary and in CPE. And I feel like my style combines both the life coaching and my pastoral care skills to really help empower people to go deep if they're wanting to. And some people don't. Some people, you know, they're not ready for that, and that's absolutely fine. But for those that are able to, you know, really dive deep into what they're wanting to move into and what's holding them back, I feel like the container I hold really is a combination of all of my life skills, which is really exciting.
That is. It's like you're blending your life lessons right in
Mm-hmm.
partnership with the horses.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
sounds like it's a real spiritual practice for you.
Absolutely. Anytime I work with the horses and a client, or even just me and the horses, for me it is a spiritual experience because, you know, I view the spiritual as trying to find meaning. It's meaning making. And for me, that's a real spiritual experience, and one that can be mystical and contemplative or ecstatic. It just really depends on, you know, what's being presented and where the client is, but absolutely it's always a spiritual experience for me.
Yeah, I resonate with that a lot. So maybe you could speak a little bit for our viewers around what is the value of reflecting a client's question or their heart's desire through the lens of another species and through their behavior.
Yeah. One of the wonderful things about horses is that they're very body-centered, and they gather information through all of their senses, and that's how they communicate, because they're not talking, they're not, you know, Gloria, you should do this, blah, 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 remember yesterday when you, that's not how horses operate. They're very much what we would call intuitive and in touch with their emotions and the sensations within their body, and they respond, and then they go back to grazing because they want to be in harmony. And really, I think most humans want that too. I mean, I think we are innately social beings, just like horses are. And I think horses really can reflect to us our deepest longings, our um, our deepest emotions that sometimes we can't access unless there's somebody there to help us. And horses are so non-judgmental. They're not going to be upset if we show up as a human being in their presence and we're really sad or angry or full of fear or anxiety. As long as we own that, then the horse feels safe and can help us unpeel the layers and the onion, if you will, of what's happening for us. So I feel like when we can show up and be honest and congruent with how we're feeling, then the horse can help us access parts of ourselves that maybe we haven't been able to see by ourselves. And I love that process.
Yeah, do you have an example that you might share so that our viewers could kind of have an image of what that might look like with a horse?
Sure. Let me think of one. I just finished facilitating several sessions over the last few days, but yeah, I think for me, I'm trying to think of my own really good story. I know for me, one of the ways that the horse has helped me is when I am feeling not worthy, or, you know, I have that voice in my head that I don't deserve to be happy, or I don't deserve to be doing this work, or I don't deserve to be so happy and not, you know. So when I'm in that place, but I can own it and I'm with my horses, I get this, and then I become super aware of where I am in my body, what those sensations are, and then I start to go deeper than just I don't feel worthy, right? I don't feel like I deserve this. You know, I'm able to go deeper into, well, I'm really scared. I don't know what's going to happen. and then as I own that, then my horses tend to come closer to me, and then there's maybe some licking and chewing. And then for me, then I continue to do my own work around, okay, well, where did that start? And is that really true? And what do I need to believe about myself that I am worthy and I do deserve this? And if the more I keep digging, then the closer the horse comes, the head goes down, the licking and chewing. And oftentimes the horses just really, their energy just calms, and it's a really beautiful experience, and I'm able to come to my new truth. So it's one example for sure.
I love that example. What I'm hearing is how, as you become really present in the moment with your truth,
yes,
the horse really responds energetically to that. So it's like your nervous systems really sync up.
Yes.
And the horse comes in to support you on your journey within. Is that capturing it a little bit?
Absolutely. That's exactly how it is. And I see it time after time with clients. I had one of the sessions I facilitated in the last few days. I had a client that I was co-coaching with the horse. And, she had this moment where she realized that she had been holding that she didn't deserve to be seen. And as we continued to go deeper and deeper and deeper, the horse was coming into her space and wanting to like pick at her. And so I did some coaching around that. Well, does it seem like you're being seen right now? And she said, yes, but it's intrusive. And so then we did some coaching around, well, what would it like for you to be seen, but not be picked on, and not for the horse to be invading your space? And she had this huge, like you could feel her energy shift and then the horse's energy shift. And they were both still and calm, and the horse was licking and chewing. And she had a profound experience of, I can be seen and I can be safe doing it. And it was beautiful.
Yeah, it sounds like it was really transformative.
Absolutely, yeah.
Beautiful work. So what are some of the issues, I guess, that EFLC is most beneficial for? If people are interested, what's possible when you step into that round pen with a horse or that arena?
Sure. Yeah, I've had people who have come who are knowing that they are ready to step into a new path in their life, but they're not quite sure what that is. And the horses in the round pen, the person and the horse in the round pen can help them discover what might be their next step. So that would be one. Certainly working on boundaries. I've seen that happen over and over, like in that example I just shared. It might be people wanting to deepen their spirituality, but not quite sure what that means and how it might look. And so that could be one. I've had parents come with their children, and they're working on their relationship, and how do I communicate with my child, or what can we do differently, or it's really quite amazing what the horse will help people uncover. And sometimes what we think is going to be the issue we're working on, then when we get in, the horse has a whole different idea, of course. So it's part of it is the mystery and surprise of it all as well. But I think, leadership for sure would be another one. Many people have had some trauma in their life, whatever that looks like. The horse can help with healing with that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a handful. I think the possibilities are really endless.
I love that. I totally agree. When you have a healing herd of horses and a facilitator that understands how to partner with them, it really creates endless possibilities for healing.
Absolutely.
And also just growth and learning.
Yeah.
I like the piece where you said that the family would come and they're wanting to learn how to communicate. imagine that was a really rich experience for everybody.
Absolutely. And we didn't really, that wasn't the intention at the beginning, but as, the horse was presenting what she was, that became the session. So, how do you make your needs known in a way that your mom can hear? Or how can you, mom, say to your child, this is what needs to happen right now in a way that he can hear? And it was really a absolutely beautiful unfolding of a session that none of us knew was going to happen. So really cool.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I'm hearing you say repeatedly is how that it's like an open container. There's no preconceived notions of what you're going to plan for them to learn.
Right.
It's more of what's ready to emerge and how can you facilitate accompanying that.
Absolutely. Yeah, how I like to describe it is it's the sacred heart space of possibility, right? Once we open our hearts and the horse opens their hearts, the possibilities really are endless. And in that circle of a round pen, because that's what I tend to work with, it's round, there's no corners, and anything's possible. And in many, many spiritual traditions, the circle is sacred, and it's where things unfold. And that's how I look at it, the sacred heart space of possibility.
I love that, Jackie. I love that. What about, have you ever worked with clients that are scared of the horses?
Absolutely. I have had a client who came and said, I'm afraid of horses. I don't even want to go in. And what we discovered, I went in with her so that she wasn't by herself, but I, tried to stay enough away so that if something happened, I could step in. And we really did some coaching to help the client be in her body and to own her experience, to say it out loud to the horse. And the more honest she got, the closer the horse came, but in a really lovely, gentle, kind way. And the client really came to understand she wasn't afraid of horses. She had had this experience as a child where she saw her uncle do something really dumb with a horse and he got hurt, and that had stuck with her. Because when you're 4 or 5 and something like that happens, that it got stuck in her. And through the coaching and getting her in her body and being really super aware that it wasn't about her after all, and that she was able to drop in, she could have a different experience. And she had this hugely profound healing moment where she forgave the horse who hurt her uncle, and she was able to come into her own experience and realize that she could be safe, have boundaries, and have a good experience. It was really quite lovely.
Well, it sounds like some trauma healing happened right there, and that she was really able to reclaim a part of herself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And opened a whole new door of possibilities in her life. Wow.
Yep. She still talks about that session, and it was like 2.5 years ago. Yep.
Yeah. So it was a real pivotal time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Many people, I mean, even, my very first experience, I can absolutely feel what it was like, that life lesson in 2005. I can feel it in my body and return to it, so that when I'm feeling really crummy about myself, I can remember what it felt like for my heart and my gut to cling together like a puzzle, and how powerful that was. I can literally feel it still. And I think for a lot of clients, that can continue to happen years later.
And so what you're saying is you can remember the clenching, but that you also remember how the horse supported you in discovering the release. And the
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So do you have anything coming up, or how can people get a hold of you if they'd like to reach out and learn more about you, or see about scheduling a talk, or what would that look like?
So I do have a website. It's
Mhm.
www.dancingspirithorse.com. And I do have some programs coming up. I'll be updating my website here hopefully today. I have some sessions already there, but I have a program on self-care for professionals, so people who are in nurses or chaplains or ministers or really anybody who has in a helping profession. So I have that coming up that I co-facilitate with a good friend of mine. And then I'm doing a program for parents and children coming up as well. So we're going to do one for elementary kids, one for tweens, and one for teens, and
Nice.
calling it a parent-child I can't remember the title, but so we
That
have
sounds like
that.
it'll be fun.
Yeah. And then one I'm really excited about, I live here in Colorado, and, people are very health conscious. And so almost every weekend there are triathlons or the Ironman or whatever. So I had this fun idea. What would it be like to have a spiritual triathlon with horse? And
Great.
so I'm going to offer that. It'll be a half-day program that will have 3 experiences with horses. And, how do you strengthen your spiritual muscles alongside this beautiful being, whether it's one of my minis or my quarter horse, and how can that strengthen your spiritual life so that you can be stronger out in the world? So I'm really excited about that as well.
That sounds like a very inspired one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your horses? Would that be okay?
Sure. Currently I have 3 horses. I have a quarter horse named Sweetie. She's about 19 years old, and she and I have been together since 2014. And she is super kind and funny, and can really help people, especially who are working on boundaries, because she can be a little pushy if she wants to be. But once you own that you're the leader and you're confident, she's so lovely and beautiful. So we have Sweetie, and anyway, she's a really great teacher. And then I have Bonnie and Clyde. Those are our 2 minis.
Love their
And
names.
I know, aren't they great? And they're, they're really good with kids, but really good with adults as well. And people often underestimate these miniatures because, what can a mini teach me? But they are full of surprises and spunk, and they're just delightful. And Clyde, actually, I've started taking out on the road, and we're visiting some local senior communities. So he has really, he's come into his own. He's really beautiful as he works with our elders. So whether they're in nursing homes or a senior living, assisted living, or a day program, he brings a smile to people. For some people, it brings back memories about what their life was like when they were growing up or when they had horses, or it's full of surprises every time. Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. I've seen some of your pictures on Facebook. So you have a Facebook page that people could go and get to kind of browse and see some of these things you've been doing?
And the Facebook page is at Dancing Spirit Horses. Yeah, at Dancing Spirit Horses. And I also have an Instagram page of the same name.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I have to be able to check that out.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else that you'd like to be able to share with our viewers about all of the work that you do and what you're excited about, or maybe even what your vision is going forward?
Yeah, it's been, the last year has been a real year of transition and change for me, and moving out of being in leadership positions in corporate healthcare to now stepping more into doing this horse work. And really what I've discovered is that, change is exciting and difficult and scary and full of possibility if
I
I
love that.
am open to it. And yeah, this horse work has really opened me up personally, and the horses are wanting to help people, not just me. They're wanting anybody who steps onto the property to step into their own authenticity so that they can be their best self, because that's how the horses are in their life. And almost, I can say that everybody who comes onto my property and meets my beautiful herd, they leave here changed in some way, shape, or form, and I love that. And just would really invite anyone who's curious to come for an individual session or come to one of the programs that I have coming up and see what might emerge.
Do you have a way for people to reach out and maybe have a little talk with you to check out which program might be best if they're curious about
Absolutely. Yeah. So on my website, there's a contact sheet. You can send me a message through that, and I'm happy to do, I always do a 15 to 20 minute introductory session so that the client can ask questions. I can explain what might be possible after I kind of get a sense of what people are looking for. But my phone number is also on the website. It's 720-320-7237. Can always call me as well, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Awesome. So you're very available. I love that about you.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Jackie, it's just been a delight to get to catch up with you again and to get to hear all of the different ways that you're thriving in the world and the ways that you're holding space for others to thrive as well. So thanks for being on. I hope to catch up with you again down the road, and we'll see how things are continuing to unfold for you.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Gloria. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you.